everybody, this is Go Geronimo, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make the Flemish bowstring for the longbow. And I say the longbow because I'm putting it on this one, but you can use this method for any bow that you desire. And I have tried to simplify it as best as possible, and I don't use a Flemish bowstring jig anymore. I just feel it complicates things. There's other ways to do it. So I will show you my method today. This is B50 Dacron. You can use an equivalent or better. There are some faster strings out there. I wouldn't use the sinew on anything, any kind of a heavy bow, or the artificial sinew. But this board right here is measured at 4 feet, and this bow is 6 feet. I am going to measure, I'm going to use 8 feet basically. I am going to use a clamp here, clamp it to the table, bring it all the way to the end of the table, and bring it back. And I'm going to cut it right there. You can use scissors, X-Acto knife, whatever you feel. Use an X-Acto knife. And that's just my method of how I get 8 feet. It's kind of easy, a 4-foot board. Double it and then you get 8 feet. But whichever way you like. And the reason why we went 8 feet instead of 7 feet or whatever is because I like to have extra to work with. I don't like to end up not having enough string. So 8 feet works for me for a 6-foot bow. So I have one strand here. I'm going to keep going until I have 7 strands. Then I'm going to keep them together. I'm going to put them aside, and I'm going to make another set of 7 strands. So we're going to have 2 sets of 7 strands. Alright, so I have 2 sets of 7, both 8 feet long. No taper yet on them. Alright, and I'll show you how I put that taper on. The taper basically helps the string come together better when you're twisting it back into itself and making the loops. If you were to use a Flemish bowstring jig, that would be done already. You just cut it with an X-Acto knife, and there you have your tapers on your string. Alternatively though, you can make your taper just by fanning out all your strings. And we're just gonna leave one alone, and everything past it is gonna go 1/4 of an inch of a cut. So we're gonna cut off 1/4 of an inch past. And just keep going until all of them are done. And now I have my taper. We'll just do that to the other one too. Now that you have 2 strings, we can put that first loop in. What you're going to do is go about 2 inches in to the shortest string you have there, which would be this one. So that's 1 inch, not 2 inches. You want to give it some room because you don't want this the loop to slip, basically. Okay. And we're going to place that, both of them together like that. And start twisting. And I'm going counterclockwise this way because the rest of the string is actually going to go clockwise. Once you got about 1.5 inches worth of string twisted into itself, where these two are twisted together, I mean, you take and separate them like this, okay? Then you let the string fall together. You see how I did that? I just pushed in, brought them together. So now the tag ends come to the bottom, the other side, okay? Then take your bowstring, wax, apply a little bit on each side, and now they are like one, okay? You can actually take this and clamp it down to the end of your table again. Okay, we just got done finishing or starting the beginning of the loop for one side, and I told you I was going to clamp it on here. And this one, I'm going to start going clockwise and twisting it. You want to keep the tension the same for each side. If you haven't already, I did forget to mention to you, check your string, see if there's any loose areas, some that are not, they have little bumps in them or something, meaning that they're not lined up as good with the rest of the strings, and work them out. Once you got all those worked out, continue going clockwise. Keeping the same amount of tension on both strings, otherwise it won't do it correctly. And every now and then you have to take, since you're twisting one side, the other side just happens to twist too because it's longer there. So you have to take out the twist on the other side. And don't worry about these little frays. Put some wax on that sucker and they'll sit right down, and then we're gonna serve the string anyway. Once you get to a certain point, you can go to the end of your string and twist it like this. And we're just going to keep going till the twist is all the way, but you don't want a tight twist, you want a slap twist, okay? And I'll show you, I guess, I'll try to show you what that means in a little bit. At this point you should have a loop on one side and it's slackly spinned, not tightly spinned yet. I'm going to go ahead and set this on my bow and decide where I want my loop. For this long bow, if you've done any research already, you know that the loop should be about 2 inches away from the knot on a long bow. But with this slack spun string that I have right now, I'm going to bring it all the way up to the notch and make my loop there. And then I'll tighten I'll spin it a little bit more and tighten it. It'll make it shorter. It'll put it where it needs to be. Now that I estimated where I want my loop, I went ahead and tapered this side exactly as I did in the for the other side. Okay. So we have these two ends. Then we're going to go 2 inches this direction. We're going to separate the string. Okay. Then tighten up the string on this area by pushing this direction, and then we got a loop here. Okay. Then we do exactly what we did on the other side by folding this string in half and bringing the ends into the strings below them. Then we're going to open this string up and get these kind of to stick together. And now we're going to spin this one clockwise. And go all the way past the tapers there. Go ahead and apply some bow wax. Now test it. Should have a pretty good hold. And when you serve this, after you serve it, it's not going anywhere. Once I'm satisfied with this twist or this loop on the opposite end, and I think that it's strong enough where it's not going to come off anymore, I measure, or I put it back up on the bow and make sure it is where I wanted it to be. And then I kind of just twist it until it comes up to about 2 inches under the string knock. Okay, this looks good. I can adjust it further when I have it braced. Okay? But I'm going to serve this now, both ends, to make sure there's not going to be any slippage on the string, okay? I'll show you how I do that. Alright, I got my serving string and my spool. I'm going to go ahead and take out a good length of serving string. A little over an arm's length. Since I'm short, that might be your full arm's length. But in any case, I'm going to take my string and face this end upwards. Then I'm going to start wrapping it this direction. I'm going to start wrapping it towards the loop. Alright, so now that I've gotten this much done already, I'm going to be getting ready to finish this off. So you take a piece of string with the loop end pointing down the string. We're going to wrap right over it. Okay. Now we're going to take this last remaining bit, put it through that loop, pull the string through, tighten it up, and burn it off. Now I have both ends served down. I'm going to go ahead and brace my bow. And that's about how I like it. Let's go ahead and serve the middle. So when I serve my bowstring, I serve it from the dip in the handle to the end of the riser. Okay? And with this little doodad, makes it really easy. So I'm just gonna place my string towards the way I'm going to be serving the bow. And the hardest part is getting it started. Just start twisting it over on itself. Once you got it good, you can tighten up the slack on this thing. And then it pretty much does the rest. One thing I'd like to point out when you're making your serving, you want to make it far enough over where you get all your fingers on there. For different people's hand sizes, that might vary a little bit. This works for me. Just keep that in mind. We're going to finish up this serving by taking the string, making the loop go that direction, and serving right over the top of it. Now we're going to pull some of it out. We're going to cut that. Feed it through the loop. Pull that loop through. This requires just a little bit of fixing here. And then, being careful not to burn the rest of the string, we're going to burn that off. And there's your serving. Alright, this string knock that I got from threeriversarchery.com is going to go on the serving here. And it's going to act as the place where you knock your arrow onto the string. I'll show you how to do that in a second. Alright, it takes a little bit of getting things right on putting these string knocks because if you do it wrong, and I'll show you on this, if your string knock's too high, say it's too high, your bow is going to push your arrow this direction, which is going to make your arrow skip upwards. Alright? Too low, your arrow's moving this way, and it's also going to go upwards. So, that is how you can do it without this gadget here. That's actually how you can do it. Just place it with one of your crimpers, string knot crimpers, in a place, shoot it, see what it does. Typically, you want a slightly downwards angle. Very, 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 very slightly downwards angle. And then you shoot it. If you notice it's doing something weird in the air, adjust it until you get it right. But you can also use one of these nifty little gadgets. Got this at Walmart actually. During hunting season, they have stuff like this all the time. And this is what I'm looking for. When I pull it away and I put it back on, it should sit right back where it's supposed to go. Alright, now I also look over here, make sure that this white portion is along the lines of the string. Okay? That's a good spot right there for me. The rest is very complicated. Just kidding. You put this sucker on there and grip it, and that's it. Or in, you know, Cockney slang, you'd say, "Bulb's your uncle." Alright, and that's how you make a Flemish bowstring. Now, the way I do it is pretty guesstimation kind of stuff, and that's how I roll. There's other information out there that may be better suited for you. So go ahead and check out some other people's videos on how to make Flemish bowstring. That's not going to hurt my feelings. But hopefully this helped someone out there learn how to make the Flemish bowstring. Thanks for watching. Click like, subscribe, share my videos with others. Find me at gogeronimo.com, where you can just ignore all the other stuff and go straight to my YouTube channel. Alright, thank you. Bye-bye.